these teams who need to really work together, how can they collaborate better in order to solve these complex problems and very hard work that we're talking about?
No, that's what I spend a lot of time doing. I've spent 10 years researching how to help teams do that, and I'm going to say that one of the first things is they need to. There's a couple of things that need to happen. Most teams form. Let me just put some context on this. Most teams form worried and concerned about what they need to do. Okay, so it's like, oh, we have to build a XYZ by this time. That's the what. But they don't form thinking about how they're going to work together. Now, if you think about what the main function of a team is, we bring teams together to solve problems and make decisions so they can reach their goals, right?
Yeah.
We pay no attention to that. And that's why I say, if you're doing innovation without a framework that looks at the people and how you're going to work together, that part becomes difficult, right? So the collaboration becomes very hard. So the first thing that I do is we've stumbled across, as I was trying to figure out, why do teams get stuck? Why do they have difficulty moving through challenging situations? And what part of innovation isn't challenging, right? When they're dealing with the uncertainty or whatever. So I was very curious about that, and I went looking for something that would solve that problem and help them collaborate. And I came across something called Foresight, and I've been using it since 2002. Now, that is not F-O-R-E, Foresight. That is F-O-U-R, sight. And it's a fantastic tool, because what it does is it gets to the fact that of how we engage in a creative process. So think about collaboration as a creative process. We're coming together with people to figure out how to do something that we all want to do. And so what I like about this is that it gives an assessment where in 10 minutes it will tell you how you prefer to engage in creative process. But then it creates a roadmap to show you, what does that mean for when you collaborate, when you're innovating, and when you're solving problems. So all of a sudden you have a really good understanding of who you are in that process, and you understand where you need to flex and work a little differently in order to get a good result. So to me, that's one of the most effective ways, because it gets to the language we're using. It looks at how we're delegating our work with each other. It looks at how we're communicating it, and it gives us a process for thinking so that we understand how to move through that together, and we can communicate to each other in a very respectful way when we're not doing what we need. So to me, we've got to break down what is the process of collaboration, and what does the thinking. We have to remember that we are thinking through that process to solve problems, and that will help to ease the collaboration. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with that once you have that information, but to me, that is just the essence of it. If I do not understand who I am as a creative person, or as somebody who can move through that thinking process, how the heck am I going to understand who you are? And how do I understand how to work with you when we start to run into difficulty? And that's like, innovation is nothing more than solving problems. That's what it is at its essence.